If you clicked on this video, then you are probably wondering how to take advantage of a candidate's market in order to achieve your career goals in 2023. The job market in Australia is still thriving, and there is no better time to secure your dream job than right now. At the time of filming this in January 23, the unemployment rate is still at a record-breaking low of 3.5%, which is just insane. There are lots of jobs available and not enough candidates to fill them, which means that companies are being extremely flexible on the person that they hire or promote. The overall skill shortage means that there is less competition in the market and less people trying to take your dream job. This is the ultimate sweet spot for you to be able to elevate your career in 2023, whether that's in your current company or securing an entirely new position. I spoke to thousands of candidates last year alone, and the goal of this video is to educate you on the 5 biggest career mistakes that I saw people make in 2022 so that you can make 2023 the year of achieving your career goals. Now let's start with career mistake number 1, which is having a non-negotiation attitude. Not being open to negotiation really puts current or potential employers off. I have seen companies get rid of top performing team members because they wanted everything their way and it just wasn't realistic. Trust me when I say that everyone wants an amazing salary, to work from home whenever they fancy, a great team culture, an office 10 minutes from home, and fast-track career progression. But you have to remember that you are working in a business which has spent years carefully fine-tuning policies and processes which are all aligned to an overarching business strategy. For example, if they let you work from home whenever you fancy, then they will have to let everyone else, and this may not align to their overarching business goal of fostering in-person relationships to build a strong team culture. Whether you are currently employed or actively job searching, I always recommend that you consider your negotiables and non-negotiables. Perhaps career progression is number 1 on your priority list, so you may take a salary reduction in order to get your foot in the door with a company who can offer you this. Perhaps salary is your number 1 priority, so you may have to choose a job you don't love, but just suck it up for a healthy paycheck in order to live the life that you love. Perhaps work from home flexibility is your number 1 priority, so you may have to accept that you may not get promoted as quickly as someone who is present in the office every single day and is building really deep internal relationships. Whilst this pains me to say because I am someone who wants it all myself, you can't have it all. I know it hurts me too, and this took me a very long time to accept. But the reality is that there always has to be some kind of negotiation and give and take. You can't have everything your way all of the time. You need to consider which aspects of your career you're willing to sacrifice and which you aren't. You should then go with the opportunity which most closely aligns to your goals. Okay, so this second career mistake that I saw people make last year is working harder, not smarter. Now, this is something which I think all of us are guilty of. As a general population, we believe that if we work harder or put in more hours, we will get the results that we want. Whilst I definitely do not discredit hard work and see a lot of value in it, successful people work smarter and not harder. Successful people tend to be problem solvers and they focus on outcomes, not hours. If they can achieve their goal in half the time, then that is what true success is, and you will have the time to achieve other objectives as well. Try to view each task through the lens of what is the most efficient way to do this. If you identify an easier or faster way to do something, take action. If you can leverage off your network, do it. If you can automate your time using an AI tool such as ChatGPT, then go for it. By the way, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, then Google it and jump on it immediately because it will save you hours of your working day. It is hands down the best tool I've ever come across when automating my time, as it writes my emails, my website content, internal policies, it writes me candidate profiles and even sales copy in seconds. This is also in no way affiliated or sponsored, but I am just a huge fan. Leveraging off the back of tools and resources which allow you to work smarter and not harder will definitely help you to get promoted. Okay, so the third career mistake that I saw people make in 2022 is not differentiating themselves. I see many people who do the same thing, the same way, even though they know it could be done better, but that's just what everyone else does or the way that they've been taught to do the task. If you do what others do with no real difference, the truth is you can be replaced easily. If you can get replaced easily, when you ask for a promotion or a pay rise, you're just not in a strong position, unfortunately. Think about it from a company's perspective. Why would they elevate your career but no one else's? Why would they pay you $10,000 more when you're doing the same as everybody else? Everyone else in the team has goals too. Everyone wants more money and a promotion, so why you? On the other hand, if you have a unique skill set, a particular strength, or you can do something which no one else in your team can do, your value increases. Once you are more valuable than others, you have leverage. That 10K pay rise you asked for suddenly doesn't seem so large to an employer, because recruiting someone with your skills and then having to train them will definitely cost more, and that's even if they can find somebody who can do what you can do. Differentiating yourself is how you get the employer in the palm of your hand, as they will become so afraid of losing you. There's a quote by Elon Musk which says, "You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problems you solve." And love him or hate him, he is one of the most successful human beings to ever live, so he definitely knows a thing or two that we don't know. If you want to accelerate your career, find a way to differentiate yourself from the masses and use this as leverage. Okay, so the fourth career mistake that I see people make is not knowing when to say no. This is something I see a lot, and actually some amazing people that I personally know, either in very senior positions or even business owners, struggle with this one. Knowing when to say no at the right time is very healthy and also helps you gain the mutual respect of your boss, clients, customers, or even your peers. Of course, you have to consider the right time to say no, and don't just say no if they ask for your help or if a task falls within your scope. There are definitely times where you should say no, and this includes if you frequently work overtime and keep getting more and more work given to you with no end in sight, if you are frequently given jobs beyond your scope with no recognition, no personal development plan, and no talks of a promotion. Another time when you should say no is if a client has completely unrealistic expectations, or if you've been given an unrealistic deadline from your boss which you just know is setting you up to fail. If you do find yourself in any of these situations or any others where you know that you should say no, you need to be upfront and honest. Being upfront is crucial as it allows plenty of time to create a new solution or put a new strategy in place. Sometimes the other person doesn't even know that their request is unrealistic until they're told. They will also respect you for being honest, and then you can discuss a mutual solution from there. As long as you can explain your reasoning behind saying no, other people will understand. If you take on too much, what tends to happen is that your time is spread too thinly and the quality of your work suffers. This can also have a negative knock-on effect of other areas as well. Okay, so the final career mistake that I saw people make last year is ignoring red flags for too long. Red flags come in many different forms throughout your career. The major ones which are easy to spot include a toxic team which gossips or excludes certain individuals, a boss who doesn't support you or listen to any of your ideas, any form of disrespect, bullying, harassment, anything along those lines, lack of constructive communication within the team, or someone constantly calling and emailing you outside of work hours. In some cases, red flags may be harder to spot, such as lack of trust from your manager, a highly competitive nature of the team, somebody comparing you or your work to others in the team, or even a slightly unstable manager who's a bit hot and cold, and any given day you just don't know what to expect from them and what kind of reaction that you'll get. Being a victim of a toxic work environment can knock your confidence over time, and it is important that you get out sooner rather than later. If you do see any of these red flags, I would seriously suggest you consider moving companies no matter what benefits that they offer. The longer you stay, the more detrimental this could be to your mental health, and you wouldn't stay in a toxic relationship because of the good factors, so don't stay in a toxic company either. I have worked with so many amazing companies who truly pride themselves on looking after their staff, and many of them would love to hire staff who are positive, lift others up, and really want to get involved in the team. So if you haven't found that yet, keep looking, because I promise you it does exist. Okay, so now you know the 5 biggest career mistakes that I saw people make in 2022. I would suggest that you take some time to reflect and assess where you are at in your career and what you want in 2023. If your current company is not serving you, identify it, accept it, and look for a company who values you and aligns to your career goals. If you do find yourself considering new opportunities and want to work with me to prepare for interview and be able to sell your transferable skills in line with any role with complete confidence, then head to jessicakimber.com/interview academy. I will also leave a link below in the description as well. And finally, if you like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up and be sure to check out my other videos, which I have linked on screen now.